And I'm worried that this will be worse. I'm worried that this will be worse. The Sonic fan game that shouldn't exist.
Now, the Sonic franchise has had one of the biggest and most chaotic fan bases on the
See? Look at this thing. Look, hold on. Look at this thing. Guys, I know, I'm a Sonic fan. I'm a Sonic fan that hates other Sonic fans. This is weird. This is weird. Why are Sonic fans like this? Why can't we just be fucking normal? I'm so nervous about what we're about to see.
entire internet. And from my personal experience, every time something comes out of the Sonic community, it's
like, hold on. Look at this animation. This animation's fucking awesome. This is cool. How do these fucking freaks take something like this, which is awesome, and turn it into, like, DeviantArt blow-up fetishes?
Personal experience, every time something comes out of the Sonic community, it's either amazing or unbelievably shit. And let's be real, it's usually...
Who would draw this? You've got Chris knocking up Rouge with a fucking half-human, half-bat baby, even though Chris is like 12, and I get he's a cartoon, it's not real, so it's not like, it's just weird. With Batman watching, while the Twin Towers are crumbling in the background. Like, Sonic wasn't a mistake, but Sonic fans were. Right? How do you come up with this stuff? I cannot imagine being this mentally deranged. Like, I draw. I'm not very good at it, but I like to do art now and again. I used to love drawing. You know, when I grew up, I drew all the fucking time. You know, even attempted to make my own comic book back when I was in high school. I have never even like conceived of such a depraved... But Sonic fans do it all the time!
Usually option 2. I know that every fanbase has its weird side and that isn't exclusive to a single franchise.
No, but it's worse than any other with Sonic, with the exception of maybe My Little Pony, which, you know, on screen... Actually, Sonic was the progenitor. But then you got things like My Little Pony. And now we're up to, like, this sort of weird fetishistic shit just being the norm. Because you've got shit like Has-Been Hotel just out there on Maine.
I myself have made a lot of videos talking about disturbing and bizarre fan media made by different fanbases. However, it's undeniable that out of all the fanbases that exist, the Sonic one is the one that has the most of these bizarre pieces for people to cover. The franchise of our beloved Blue Barefoot Hedgehog always...
Even this is weird. This is one of the most benign. This is one of the most benign, and even this is weird. Like, you know they did this for fetishistic purposes. They drew Sonic without his shoes so they could see his big feet. And no, Pokemon isn't worse. Pokemon honestly is, like I promise you, because I've seen both. The Sonic fandom is exponentially worse. How do I know the Sonic fandom is exponentially worse? Well... You know what? I was gonna use Chris Chan as the example, but he's also a Pokemon fan. So you might be onto something. Sonic isn't human either. I have seen, not by my choice, mind you, far more degenerate, fucked up shit from Sonic fans than from Pokemon fans.
Always seems to be the main target of the most disgusting and bizarre creations out there. 2 babies, 1 fox, a dog shit creepypasta, the fan art of Sonic and Shadow as a f***ing toilet. I could...
What the fuck was that?
Shit creepypasta, the fan art of Sonic and Shadow as a f***ing toilet.
Oh, shut up! It's not like this. It's a wait, it's not like this is a highlight from you guys.
Stop it. Get some help.
I don't know how they do it. How do you take just like a fucking anthropomorphic animal that go fast and turn him into a toilet? What is wrong with these people?
Toilet, I could keep listing all these degenerate creations this fandom has released, but I don't have the time or the mental health to put myself through that again. Until I remember that I'm literally a disturbing content slop channel, and that's what I get paid for. So today I want to talk about a Sonic fan game that I unfortunately had
Babysitting cream. I just want y'all to know, everybody in chat right now, first of all, Grifter Guy Grift, if I'm about to be subjected to this, homie gotta get that bag, right? Super chats are available. But also, if you're looking for who to blame for this, Piranha Pout posted this in the Discord for me to react to. You can blame her.
the displeasure of discovering a few days ago. The game is called Babysitting Cream, and to sum it up, this is a cub or fan game. And in case you don't know, cubs are basically lollies for furries. In this game, the player takes the role of Sonic. Well, not the actual Sonic, but more like an EVP 445 version of him.
EDP 445 references, Joe, bro. They're the gift that keeps on giving.
Who gets asked by Vanilla the Rabbit to babysit her daughter Cream, who is 9 years old, for a few days while she's out doing, whatever the fuck she's doing. During these days...
Also, these are so off-model. I know it's a weird thing to complain about, but, like, when the Sonic characters are off-model, it fucking bothers me. These aren't what the characters look like. It's a weird complaint, but I don't like it.
The player does what appear to be innocent activities with Cream, like playing games or...
War Wizard 7-8 for a 2-banger. Maybe we stop listening to Piranha Pout now? Please? I gotta give the audience what they want. Also, this will make some pretty great content for the gaming channel, I ain't gonna lie. This is definitely getting clipped into a segment for the gaming channel. But thanks for the 2-banger.
giving her food.
People, please, follow in War Wizard's footsteps. I need it.
All of which build up her trust until you eventually unlock some extremely nasty
Wait, you build up her trust. This is, like, grooming the game. And it's... Why? What? Fucking... I know I take the stance, which is a relatively unpopular stance, that, hey, it's drawings, therefore it's not real. Like, I've got a pretty libertarian view on this sort of shit, right? I take the Madame Savvy approach. It's a drawing, it's not real, therefore, you know, it can't be, you know, whatever. That being said, the people that are creating this sort of stuff, bro, they need to be fucking monitored. This ain't okay. You made a grooming simulator using Sonic the Hedgehog characters. This is fucked up.
Interactions you can do with her. The first version of this game was uploaded almost 15 years ago on Ink.
What? 15 years ago? Wait, so we're talking in fucking 2010? Guys, I don't want to hear that Sonic 06 was the worst thing that ever happened to Sonic anymore. Alright, Chris Chan be out there fucking raping his mom, and this game exists. A Final Fantasy-ass looking character just kissing Sonic, bringing him back to life, ain't really that big a fucking deal anymore.
Bunny, which is basically a website that exists so furries can show and share their questionable NSFW artwork. The team behind
Prompt out limit for 9 months, first vabbing, and now this. Leon's never gonna listen to me. You're entirely correct. I'm learning way too much about things that I do not want to learn about.
This masterpiece of
And okay, Tiger King is correct. Sonic Boom might be worse than this. Yeah, that's true.
game consisted of just two people, Avalon X, the art designer, and Avion, the programmer. The furry gooners of the website immediately saw amazing potential in the game. The post that contained this first version of Babysitting Cream gathered hundreds of thousands of views, and users on the website were already extremely excited about the project. But did the creators deliver though? That's what we are about to find out. As soon as you open the game, you are immediately greeted with Tails giving us a
Why is he not wearing gloves? Guys, when you draw your Sonic characters, give them gloves. They don't look right. Again, it's far from the biggest issue with this game, mind you. This is a game where you're literally grooming a 9-year-old rabbit girl. Like, obviously that's the bigger issue. But, like, just from an art direction perspective, don't fucking draw your Sonic characters without their gloves. It looks fucking weird.
warning stating that you could go to jail if you try to do anything from this game in real life. Wow, really, Tails? I had no fucking idea. Tails also states that this game is a work done under
They're also obviously not real Sonic fans. You wanna know how I know that? Because this disclaimer, this anti-pedo disclaimer is being said by Tails when anyone who actually knows their Sonic lore would have had Sonic do it, because back in the 90s we had the Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog show where there's PSAs at the end of every episode called Sonic Says. And he would teach, like, it's literally one of the most famous ones is, hold on, let's see if I can find it. We'll just head on over to YouTube real quick. Sonic Says, here we go. If someone touches you. All right. Right here.
Kids, there's nothing more cool than being hugged by someone you like. But if someone tries to touch you in a place or in a way that makes you feel uncomfortable, that's no good. It's your body. No one has the right to touch you if you don't want them to. So what do? First, you say no. Then, you
suplex him, put him in the camera.
Anyway, y'all get the point. Right? So, Sonic Says, if you knew your Sonic lore and you wanted to make this game somewhat, accurate and relevant and whatnot, you would have used Sonic for this disclaimer. So they're also not even a true blue Sonic fan. Blue. Didn't mean to do that, but anyway.
under the clause of being a parody and a work of fiction, so I guess the creators are trying to label the game as a joke and something not serious so that they don't get in legal trouble. Well, I don't know about you, but when I think of a joke, I don't exactly think about making a furry porn fan game of Sonic, but that is just me though.
No, and to be fair, that could be a joke. Like, here's the dealio, this could be a joke, but it has to be presented as a joke, i.e. that it would be making fun of these individuals. Like, let's say you built this game, right? You built this game, and it's a joke on these fucking pedo Sonic fans or whatever, that you play through it, you're grooming Cream, and then when you get to the end, it's actually, it turns out that she was one of those, like, undercover cops, and she was actually, like, 21 years old, and you had, like, Dr. Robotnik come in and do, like, this Chris Hansen thing, and Sonic gets thrown in jail at the end, right? And you get all these fucking Sonic gooners all pissed off because they couldn't actually bang the 9-year-old rabbit and shit. Like, that would be a joke. That would be funny, because the joke is on these freaks. But this isn't a joke.
I guess the creators of the game just have such an advanced level of humor that no normie like you and me would be able to comprehend. Skipping the warning that Tails gives us, we are finally introduced to the game, which consists of a very basic point-and-click setup. You select the places of the house you want to go, and there you can call Cream to perform activities in that specific place. A thing you probably noticed is that even though the characters of the game were hand-drawn, the background of the places consist of real-life photos, which make the characters look completely out of place. Speaking of the characters, their design are just so weird.
Oh my god, he's actually gonna critique the same thing I did, them being off-model. I'm so glad I'm not the only one that thinks it's awful when these characters are off-model.
I don't know if it's just me, but Sonic
No,
with a
it's not just you.
realistically proportionate body just looks uncanny as fuck. Okay, enough about me bitching about how the game looks. What about the gameplay? Once you summon Cream, the player can...
We have lost about 10 viewers since we started watching this fucking video. That is fucking funny to me. No, if you guys are running away because you're scared of this, you are cowards. You need to know that these people exist. You need to know the warning signs. You need to know what to watch out for. You need to be prepared, okay? You need to be prepared. Like, this is educational. Like, you can't just hide from shit you don't like. These people are out there. This is fucking educational. This is my Sonic Says. This is Leon Learns.
then choose an action. Obviously, different actions lead to different outcomes. These actions serve for Sonic to build relationship stats with Cream, which can be accessed in Sonic's journal. We have energy, which is used to perform actions, rings, which is your money, happiness, how happy Cream is, touch, how comfortable Cream is with Sonic touching her, number of off, which is pretty self-explanatory, peeping, how well Sonic can spy on Cream without her noticing,
I hope there's a happy ending to this, that, like, the person that made this was found by the FBI and thrown in jail. And if not, look, Kash Patel, Dan Bongino, I know I've been pretty harsh on the Trump administration as of late. I know I've been pretty harsh on the Trump administration due to your failure with the Epstein files and whatnot. If you want to redeem yourselves, you will find out who made this monstrosity. You will haul them off to, like, Alcatraz or fucking Guantanamo Bay or whatever, and all will be forgiven, right? Like, here's the dealio. I don't even need the global pedophile ring exposed if instead we can switch it to exposing the Mobian pedophile ring. All the Sonic fans that create shit like this, I will let the Epstein shit slide if you start focusing on these cretins.
Exposure, which is how comfortable Cream is with seeing Sonic naked, and relationship with Cream, which is the overall trust level that Cream has with Sonic. The way you increase these stats in the game is very, very, very unethical to say the least. For example, to build up the peeping stat, you can make Sonic spy on Cream while she's taking a shower, or even take a look at her pants while she's falling asleep. And the worst part is that these disgusting actions actually reward you. Choosing the right actions will improve Sonic's relationship with Cream, unlocking new options that get increasingly more intimate. The actions you can choose from depend on the location. And
it's I hate this. I hate this because shit like this is why the UK government thinks they can do what they do in terms of, like, internet censorship and stuff like that. Like, hey, we want to police your speech. We want to police, what you do on the internet. Oh, the child safety and whatnot. Again, I vehemently disagree, as we already talked about in the first video we went over today about, taking the fight to the UK, being anti-internet censorship. Like, however, when you've got people who are exercising their freedom and they're using it for shit like this, I get it. I still vehemently disagree with the UK government. I think the Online Safety Act is absolutely, it's obviously an objectively bad thing that's really being used as a way to flex control over adult lives. It's not actually about protecting children. However, if I was a fucking 45-year-old mom and I was stumbling across my child's search history and I saw this, yeah, I'd get why they would think the Child Safety Act is a good thing. These people are or at least in part, the reason that we have all the shit that's happening now going on.
during my short...
Oh my god, the creator, Ink Bunny, is still active today and has a website? Look, I know we went to that fucking, like, lesbian workout gym Instagram. And their website. We ain't going to this website. There's some shit even I won't do.
Gameplay session, I noticed there aren't that many places to go. There is the kitchen, where you can feed Cream, the living room, where you can play games and watch cartoons with her, the bathroom, where you can take a shit and jack off, Cream's bedroom and Vanilla's bedroom, where you can, well, do the main objective of the game, and finally the city, where you can visit the park, the super mall or the beach. There are probably more locations that unlock as you progress, but honestly I couldn't bring myself to play this game for more than 20 minutes.
I mean, I'm trying to decide if I think it's commendable that he played even that much, but hey, you gotta get footage for the content, so like, I get it. I hope he took a nice long shower after this.
As soon as your touch and relationship with Cream stats are high enough, you can make Cream do things like take her dress off or sleep with her. And even though the game centers around ways of Sonic getting his way with Cream, there are many other characters in the game that
What'd they do to my girl Sally, bro? They made her look like such a bitch.
you can have sex with. There is Blaze the Cat, Amy, Sally, Marine, not even Tails is safe from Sonic's predatory behavior. However, unlike Cream, these characters...
Why are people obsessed with making Sonic a fucking deviant? Like, he is literally a attitude with a heart of gold. That's his whole fucking character. I blame Ken Penders. I blame Ken Penders for all this. These motherfuckers were reading the Archie comics at the time, and they saw Ken Penders, fucking made evil Sonic, like, cheat with multiple women and whatnot, and frame the real Sonic, and they like, oh, we love this storyline. Let's just make it pedophilic and pornographic. Ken Penders, dude, ruined the Sonic. It wasn't even DeviantArt, because how did the people in DeviantArt get the idea for this shit? Ken fucking Penders. If you guys don't know who that is, there's plenty of YouTube documentaries about him. Look him up. He's a fucking psychopath.
Characters are portrayed as adults, or at least they look like adults, so I don't really have a problem with this specific part of the game. But for the most part, the game just really centers around Sonic trying to get some with Cream. The other characters just appear from random events as far as I know, probably serving as a bonus for the gooners playing this game. The dialogue of this game also feels super unsettling, in a way that makes Sonic seem like a predator who can only...
No, he is in this game clearly a fucking predator. Literally, fucking predator.
Think about having sex all the time, with even the most mundane things in his day somehow making him horny. Like, you're watching a movie, Sonic gets a burner. You order a pizza, Sonic gets a burner. You are at your grandma's funeral, Sonic gets a burner. But that's not even the worst part about the dialogues. The descriptions of the sex scenes are insanely detailed. Like, way too detailed, to the point where it feels genuinely uncomfortable to read. And most of the time there isn't even an image on the screen showing what's happening, it's just a wall of overly descriptive text that sounds like it came straight out of a romance book made by a woman.
Why has every single chat or video the last 3 weeks come back to this book right here? This book has ruined the internet. This book has ruined the internet. By the way, this game was made by a woman, or at least I assume. The profile picture was of a fucking female furry, but that definitely doesn't mean anything in these furry circles. You don't hate Sonic fans enough, right? Like, do you know how shameful it is to just be a normal fucking Sonic fan because people like this exist? Because people like this exist. I cannot, in good faith, you talk about fucking, I don't even want to say fucking Sonic the Hedgehog just because I use the word fucking all the time, because there's that implication that can be used as a verb right there. Dude, Sonic fans, it's gotta be like relatively recent, right? Because Sonic fans weren't doing this in like 1998 when Sonic Adventure was the big thing on the Dreamcast. Like this came about later. Why? It's infuriating. Because I love this franchise. I love these characters. I love the movie. I love the games. My favorite video game of all time is Sonic Adventure. And then people like this fuck it all up for everyone.
And finally, I want to talk about the two endings this game has, both of which are determined by a statistic I didn't mention earlier called moral alignment. This stat goes up if Sonic behaves like a normal human being and does nothing wrong with Cream, and goes down if he behaves like Jeffrey Epstein. If throughout the whole game you didn't do a single questionable thing to Cream, you unlock the pure ending, where Vanilla comes home, tells you that you have a heart of gold, and then rewards you with a fun time with Amy and Sally.
So let me get this straight. The good ending for this fucked up fan game, I wouldn't even call this a fan game, is that you bone the characters that are still technically underage, because, this is Sonic and they're all fucking teenagers. How is this person not in fucking prison? I am disturbed, Nadia. Someone out there 15 years ago made a fan game from Sonic the Hedgehog where the whole fucking point of it is to plow a 9-year-old. These people are disgusting. I'm rethinking my stance on whether or not people should be allowed to have freedom. No more freedom for anybody. You lost your freedom privileges.
But if you did even one bad thing to Cream, you unlock the bad ending, where Vanilla catches you with Cream, and instead of getting mad, she says she's happy that Cream's first time was with a hero.
So in the bad ending, the mother of the child that you are babysitting says, well, at least you're a good guy. Deport. I don't care they're an American citizen. Deport. Again, Gitmo. Alligator Alcatraz. Fucking helicopter rides. I don't care. Shout out Nadia, member for 9 months, says, what the fuck is this? Why? I'll tell you why. Because Piranha Pout put this in the Discord for me to react to. And now we're here. Blame her. Shout out Zolozians for becoming a member, homie. Thanks for becoming a member.
Yeah. Basically, we have the shit ending and the even shittier ending, which pretty much sums up.
Butterframe and Gold says, this makes me think Christian nationalism is a good thing. Wholeheartedly agree. Andrew Wilson was right about everything. I retract all my statements. I'm going to church after this. Thanksgiving is canceled. Now it's church giving. Thanks churching. Whatever you want to call it. Harwood Nides for a 2-banger says, why are you listening to women? You know what? I don't even have a good answer to that. You make an excellent point.
Women.
Thank you for the 2-banger, girly.
How bad this game is. Babysitting Cream is nothing more than yet another disturbing Sonic fan project.
It's not that I didn't know people made these games, Tiger King. I knew people made these games. But, like, I've seen enough of this weird shit on DeviantArt that, as a Sonic fan, I have been making the active choice for the last 15 to 20 years to avoid other Sonic fans. So, like, I didn't really truly understand the depths and the depravity that it actually went to. Like I'm not that I'm advocating for it, but, like, if you want to do something like this and just, like, draw something or even make this game and whatnot and, like, keep it on your own personal PC, don't get me wrong, that's still wrong, that's still fucked up. But at least it means there's some shame there. But to just, like, publicly put this out on the internet, attach your name to it, and be proud of it. I guess I just didn't realize that it went like to that level.
In the form of a fetish game. The creators do try to make some jokes here and there to make it look less bad. Like, wow guys, isn't it funny? A world where all Sonic characters just think about sex all the time. Look guys, Sonic is brutally raping Tails. Isn't that hilarious? Well, I personally don't find any of this shit funny.
The coder went dark soon after, but the artist is still around. I mean, yeah. I hope the coder got fucking paid. Have you watched J Sonic stuff? No. No, I don't like even acknowledging that this type of Sonic fan exists, because again, as a nice, pure Sonic fan, you know, plays the games and watches the movies and like just buys the merch and immerses myself in the actual lore, reads the comics, shit like that. This is it, like I'm a Dragon Ball fan. I'm a Spider-Man fan. You know, like I know there's Dragon Ball hentai out there. You know, I know it. I can't imagine, like when we first see Pan in Dragon Ball Z. When we first see Pan in Dragon Ball Z, she's 4 years old, right? I cannot imagine that there is like fetish porn of Goku banging granddaughter Pan at 4 years old. Like I'm sure that doesn't exist, or if it does exist, it's not like publicly out there on the internet and people are fucking proud they drew it or whatever, right? I'm sure there's fucking Spider-Man porn out there. I've never seen, not that, I mean, frankly, I don't fucking watch this sort of fucking porn, but like, I've never accidentally ran across like Spider-Man underage, that sort of gross shit. Because like, Spider-Man fans seem to have, you know, some semblance of class or whatnot. They want their Spider-Man porn to be like him banging Mary Jane or Felicia Hardy, Black Cat, whatever. Why is it specifically Sonic? That's the thing that bothers me. That's what I don't get. Because I grew up playing these games, dude. I remember when Sonic the Hedgehog 3 came out on the Sega Genesis, and it was the greatest fucking thing I ever played in my entire life. I remember 1999, 9999, man. That was the date. Sonic Adventure, to this day, my favorite game of all time. I remember when that game came out. Never once did I have these inklings to think about Sonic this light. Where did it go wrong? And why is it Sonic? Like, I cannot conceivably wrap my head around why. Why this franchise? Why this fandom? And not any other, like, tangentially related ones? Because if you grew up in the 90s, there was a bunch of cool shit, right? You had the Ninja Turtles. You had the Power Rangers. You had Dragon Ball. You had Sonic. You had fucking Marvel Comics, right? You had all this cool shit. And of all this cool shit, why is Sonic the one that these depraved, degenerate monsters gravitate towards? There's gotta be a psychological reason, and I'm curious about it, but I'm also weary to look into it because I don't want to end up on a fucking list. War Wizard for a two-banger says, Piranha Pal finally convinced me. Repeal the 19th. Facts. Agreed. Furries. It's always the furries. Right. Exactly. It's always the furries.
I just find it disgusting, and trying to label this as humor is so ridiculous that I don't think anyone would buy that. And that was basically the video. I probably should have given a warning in case you were having dinner, but oh well, I hope you enjoyed, then that's it.
I didn't enjoy this. I mean, you put a lot of work into it, and it was a good video, like well made objectively and whatnot, so I'll give you a like, and I'll share it to you guys in the audience here. Share it, just drop the link in the chat. Give the video a like at least, because he did put some work in to expose this gross shit. But what the fuck? Like for real, what the fuck? Again, I knew there was weird, like, fetish art out there. I've been on DeviantArt, not in many years, but, like, you know, you're in high school, you fancy yourself an artist, you go to DeviantArt, you see some shit, right? Not intentional, it just sort of happens, because that's the way the internet worked fucking 15, 20 years ago. But to proudly make a game like this, pay someone, assumingly pay someone to code this game, to put your name on it, to give it your seal of approval. Dude, it is no wonder that Sonic has the reputation it does. And like, because the Sonic movies are massive now, right? Sonic's on the come up, right? The most recent Sonic game has been awesome. Sonic Shadow Generation has been awesome. Sonic Frontiers is pretty good. Sonic Race Across Worlds has been awesome. The Sonic movie has been blowing it out the park, right? So you've got this resurgence of Sonic. You've got all these new fans that are children. And what the fuck are they going to stumble upon? And again, this isn't me being pro-censorship or like, oh, you know, again, the UK was right. We need the Online Safety Act. Because again, I'm anti-censorship. Parents need to fucking parent, be aware that this sort of shit's out there. But like, how many fucking freaks are going to be shoving this shit in this new generation of Sonic fans' faces because of the resurgence of popularity of Sonic? It's sickening, man. It's disgusting.